Hi, ES 201. I was just going through the extra credit assignment on the classes and objects, and I realized why there's some confusion on how to overload that operator. It's a topic that's sort of subtle, we didn't have a chance to talk to you, but this is just a quick explanation if you were struggling with the extra credit and didn't get it and were wondering why. There's two different ways you can actually define overloaded operators. You can either do them with inside the class or outside the class. So here I'm showing the way that's defined in the class, and this is the way that I normally do that, and this is the way we discussed with the beam initially. So if you look at the code over here, I've got my class definition, and I'm overloading the less than operator. We're using this class person. I'm trying to keep it sort of simple here. So the only thing in here is the data member age, which is an integer value. And so the way I've defined this such within the class is that it's just going to go ahead and return, it's going to use the age function, and less than would be true. So if you look at your main program over here, I've defined two objects, me and you. I've set my age to 18, your age to 20. And so I want to know if me is younger than you. And so here what you see, this definition, it's actually inside the class. The bool operator less than, it's occurring within that class definition, so that I'm putting person : operator. So it's all part of the class. If I run this program, it would print younger to the screen. Now there's another way you can do it. You can actually define overloaded operators outside the class. Let me show that example. So this is just the same program, but a little bit differently. So if you look first within the class definition, you don't see me declaring this overloaded operator less than. It doesn't appear anyway. And then when I'm actually defining the function, notice down here I don't have person : so it's not a member function of person. However, this is a version of the less than operator that could take two instances of person. And so I could go ahead and do this for different classes is the idea. So now I have to send it both a left-hand side and a right-hand side because it's a global less than operator. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and return with the left-hand side as less than the right-hand side. So this program would operate the exact same way. But notice what's different. I'm not putting any definitions within the class. I'm actually defining it outside the class. And so I need to go ahead and say what it takes, both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So this is a global operator. So there's two different ways that you can actually do it, and they're both fine. When you do it outside the class, I'm showing over here, it takes two instances because you have to give it both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. When you're defining it within the class, it knows the class is using it, so it knows the left-hand operator. It's kind of its version of the less than operator. So I think some confusion came in because in the Zybook section 811, where it talked about the addition operator, use the inside method, and that's the way I prefer. But then it goes in section 812 and it starts talking about more operators, comparison operators like less than, and it starts using the outside method. And it doesn't make it really clear that it's changing the different techniques. They're both valid techniques. I prefer the inside method. That's the only way that I use. I think some people were getting confused because they were attempting to define it inside the class, but we're using the notation for the outside class, and so it was kind of conflicting. So anyway, I'm sorry if that caused any confusion. I'll definitely try to clarify that with future classes. So sorry about that.